Welcome to Omstv with Hannah Parrish and Marley Cookman.
Hi, I'm Hannah Parrish. Thanks for tuning in to Omstv on this chilly Friday morning. The school store will be open today during lunch, so come down and see what you can spend those Husky bucks on. Also, keep passing on suggestions for what items and experiences you'd like to see available for those Husky bucks. How often do you get a chance to sit down with a principal and find out about their life? Well, this week, our own Marley Cookman sat down with Mr. Z and got to know him a little better in this week's edition of Between Two Palms.
Okay, so Mr. Zerbigan, where is your hometown?
I was born in Onalaska, Wisconsin. Whenever I tell people that, they think I said Alaska. And I said, no, I'm not from Alaska. I'm from Onalaska, Wisconsin. So it's on the Mississippi River by La Crosse.
That's cool. Where did you go to college?
I started at the University of St. Thomas because I wanted to play baseball. And then I decided to transfer back to UW La Crosse, where I ended up playing baseball. And I got a Spanish and business major as my degree.
That's very interesting. Why did you want to be a principal?
I started off going back to get my teaching certification, and I taught Spanish. And as I started teaching Spanish and was involved in multiple buildings and in multiple classes, I started to think about having an impact in a whole building and being able to help influence an entire building instead of just what I was doing in my classroom.
Where have you worked as an educator before?
Before I was an educator? Well, before I was an educator, I actually worked at Best Buy. I was the store's translator, and I was also their operations senior, so I dealt with a lot of the money and customer service. And then once I got into education, I taught for 7 years in Osceola, Wisconsin. I taught Spanish, and then I spent a year up in St. Cloud area where I was an instructional coach.
What is your favorite food?
Easily, my favorite food is my mom and dad's homemade barbecue chicken pizza or their Thai peanut homemade pizza.
That sounds yummy.
It is yummy.
What is the best part of being a principal?
Best part of being a principal is doing stuff like this right now. I absolutely love interacting with kids and working with kids and figuring out ways to help make their day better at OMS.
What is the worst part of being a principal?
I wouldn't say it's the worst part. I would say it's the most challenging part, and that is trying to figure out how to balance my responsibilities of work with my responsibilities at home. I've got 3 kids under the age of 7, so figuring out when do I have to shut my brain off and be a dad and a husband instead of focusing on what I do here at school.
How do you feel about the high school vote?
You're talking about for the new high school?
Yeah.
You know, I think having come from different places in my life and coming here, the sense of community I get, it was nice to see all of the involvement from the community around the issue. And I think where we landed on it made sense for how we move into the future.
Do you have any hobbies?
I do. One of the things I really enjoy doing is working out, exercising. For me, it's always been kind of that stress release. It gives me a chance to unwind and feel better about where I'm at. The other thing I like to do is I like to go golfing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen with this whole impeachment thing?
Oh.
What do you want OMS to be known for?
We talk a lot, and I think one of the things we're trying to do is I really want OMS to be known by kids for being the best 3 years of their life when they're in academics. I think we're working hard to make it so that they leave Owatonna after graduating high school and they say, I had a great experience, but my 3 years at Owatonna Middle School were the best 3 years I had.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay, the last question.
Yes.
If the moon was made of green cheese, would you eat it?
Green cheese?
Yeah.
Are we saying that the green cheese is moldy? Or just the color green?
Just like the color green.
I do really like cheese. I like a lot of different kind of cheeses. It's probably not good for my health because I eat so much of it. So I would say yes, I would definitely eat as much as I could.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The winter clothing/food drive is starting next week on Monday and will run to Friday, November 22nd. It will take place in Husky Connections. Every Husky Connections teacher has been paired with 2 other teachers. Each team will have 1 box for food items and 1 box for winter clothes items. Some items needed for clothing are winter wear, snow pants, coats, hats, mittens, gloves, boots, and scarves. Some food items are canned fruit and vegetables, cereal, pasta, pasta sauce, canned meat, stews, soups, boxed macaroni, and cheese, granola bars, and crackers. Wait, did someone say prize? Why yes, there will be one. What is it? Bring in a ton of items and you will find out. How does one win the super secret surprise? What a great question. The clothing and food are separated, so one group may win for the most clothing and one group may win for the most food. I call that a win-win. Well, that about wraps up our show. As usual, we will end with some photos from OMS. Have a great weekend.